Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review, and welcome to another video in general. I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. I've been very busy. If you guys watch my channel, you know I started a new job recently, and I've been very, very, very busy. Um, all good though, everything's fine right now. It's just, I'd like to tell you more, but I'm sure most of you clicked on this video to hear my thoughts on this movie. So if you want, towards the end of the video, I'll delve into what's going on with me a little bit more, if you're curious. I have to be very quiet right now because it is 3 a.m. and people are sleeping. Um, yeah, like I said, I'll explain it later why I saw this movie so late. Um, but yeah, this movie was something. This movie was very overwhelming. Um, I put a little post up right before I started filming this. This movie is my number one favorite MCU movie now. And I'm not just saying that because I just saw it. I really think it will be. For those of you who have watched me for a long time, you know I am a huge horror fan. My favorite movie genre is horror. I grew up, horror is what got me into movies in general, pretty much. And I just love horror movies. Like, I don't watch them all the time per se, but just the genre itself is like unlike any other genre. It's not just about blood and guts. It's a lot more. Um, it's an experience. And my favorite horror movie is Evil Dead 2. Unless you count Silence of the Lambs as a horror movie. I feel like I've said that so many times in different videos, but in terms of like straight up horror movies, Evil Dead 2 is my favorite horror movie. Tied with Army of Darkness. I kind of pair the two together a lot. Um, if you go on my Letterboxd, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, I think they're like in my top 25, somewhere in there, movies of all time. So considering that horror is my favorite genre, and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, like I said, I pair them together, are my favorite horror movies, says a lot, right? Sam Raimi. So, man, I gotta tell you guys, this movie to me, like, in the MCU, like, there's been certain instances of, like, letting the directors do, let them being themselves. Like, recently in DC, they let James Gunn just be himself in the Suicide Squad. In the MCU, they had Chloe Zhao bring her great cinematography to Eternals. Um, Taika Waititi with, the Thor movies. James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy. Certain directors bring their flavor to the table. Shane Black with Iron Man 3. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know, Kenneth Branagh on the first Thor, um, and this one to me, out of all of the MCU films, was like unlike anything. Like, it was wholly unique in terms of the filmmaking and the style. Like, this was, if Evil Dead was a Marvel movie, that's what this movie would be. Sam Raimi, I applaud you. Like, you knocked it out of the park with this one. Like, what I'm trying to get at here is a lot of the reviews I watched for this seemed like everyone gave the movie like a positive opinion, but there was a certain feeling that they were underwhelmed by the movie, and I think I know what it is. I don't want to explain it though, because to me it's sort of spoilerish. In the spoiler section at the end, I'll talk about what I mean. Um, I will let you guys know the movie's not bad. Like, I'm sure everybody will enjoy it. Obviously, I enjoy it a lot more than most people because it's probably my favorite MCU movie. I don't know yet. The reason I'm saying that is because the first time I watched Infinity War and Endgame, those two movies were a lot to process. They were overwhelming, and those ended up becoming my two favorite MCU movies. Infinity War has been my favorite for a while. Um, and I got the same feeling watching this movie. It was a lot. It was overwhelming, and I have that same feeling of like, I know it was like a 10 out of 10, but like, I'm not like jumping for joy. Like, I'm not hype. You know what I mean? Even though during the film, as I watch it, there are hype moments, obviously. But like, after the film's over, I'm not hype. It's like this strange feeling of like, so much happened. And I know down the line, I'm going to rewatch this and I'm going to be like, man, this movie is awesome. I'm thinking that right now. It's just, like I said, it's this strange feeling. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. Like, when you guys first watch Endgame or Infinity War, like, you were just overwhelmed by what you just watched. Like, you knew it was greatness, but like you didn't know how to feel about it. Because if you go back and watch my reviews for those, it's the same thing. It's like I don't know what to grade these movies. Like, in the back of my head, I knew they were 10 out of 10s, but like I just didn't know how to process them. And it's the same with this. Now, the reason I'm putting it as number one is because I am a huge horror fanatic, as I explained. And to me, the style of this movie, and also the best part of this film, aside from the Sam Raimi filmmaking and all that stuff, Elizabeth Olsen killed it in this movie. Like, she needs to win some type of award for this character. Like, she should have won the Emmy for WandaVision. I doubt the Oscars are gonna, but like, she needs to win some sort of award for playing Wanda because, my God, I want to elaborate more on her character, but again, kind of spoilerish. But man, absolutely killed it. I mean, everybody was great in the movie, obviously. Like Benedict Cumberbatch, I heard certain reviews were saying like he doesn't have much of a character arc. No, it's not true. He has a pretty good character arc, if you ask me. Wong is great in there. America Chavez, the new character, she's really good. I believe she's a first-time actress. She didn't do a bad job or anything like that, but I feel like the character could have had a little bit more to her. I don't know. It's kind of a nitpick. I have a few nitpicks with this movie, and again, I think I need to explain them in the spoiler section. But they're just nitpicks, like I said, like nothing major. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's my favorite MCU. It was so crazy, like the horror aesthetic and everything about it. It wasn't like gruesome, It's not like it's PG-13, obviously, but like there were certain moments where I was like, oh my God, wow, like okay, they really let Sam Raimi be Sam Raimi. Like it wasn't borderline rated R PG-13. It wasn't on the borderline, but like there were certain moments where it could have been. I'll just say that. And yeah, in terms of like the surprises in the movie, yeah, it's pretty cool. But like I said, I feel like a lot of people maybe overhype themselves with certain things, which I'll talk about in the spoiler section, and they came out a little bit underwhelmed. I could see that, and I will say, to me, I definitely felt that in a way, but it didn't detract overall from this being like a great film. Like Danny Elfman's score, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm such a fan of filmmaking when it's done in such a good way. Like MCU's got stereotyped by being like the same movie over and over again, which isn't true, obviously. But there are plenty of instances in the MCU where it could be like, okay, this movie feels just like this movie, or you know what I mean? They don't have any character to them. This, like I said, has the most character out of any MCU movie, hands down, I think. Man, this was something, I'm telling you. Like most people have been giving this movie like a 7 out of 10, like an 8 out of 10, which those are fine scores. But to me, like this was something else. Like it's more than that for sure. And I know probably a lot of you are thinking I'm crazy for putting it at number one, having just seen it. But I really genuinely think, like after I've seen this a few more times and I've processed it a couple years from now, it'll be my number one. Like I really think so. I don't know. It's just because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. Like I think that's the reason I'm fanboying over that aspect of it. I'm so glad Sam Raimi directed this. I appreciate Scott Derrickson on the first movie, but I'm glad they let Sam Raimi do this one. I really wonder like what happened there. Like I don't know if it was like a bad falling out or something, but I don't know. Scott Derrickson wanted to do something totally different, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say necessarily about this. The plot is, it is madness. It is easy to follow though. Like don't get me wrong. Like it's not confusing or anything like that. And it is, I don't want to say too much, but I feel like for the most part it is pretty straightforward. Like the plot itself. Yeah. And I do have a few questions also, like for the spoiler section. I'm going to ask you guys because I need some answers for certain things. Okay, so I was in the middle of talking and my camera cut off. I thought the whole video I just recorded was gone. I thought I didn't hit record for a second. It was pretty scary. Anyways, what was I saying? I was talking about so in the spoilers, I'm gonna have a couple questions for you guys. One in particular. that I need an answer for. But yeah, I think that might be it for the review. I don't know if you guys need me to elaborate more on why I think this is my favorite MCU movie. I'm sure you probably do. You're probably like thinking I'm crazy or something. But yeah, this was like really cool. It was a really cool movie. Like I said, just a few nitpicks. But yeah, I'm gonna get in the spoiler section now. So if you haven't seen this film, please leave the video. Actually, before I get to spoilers, I will let you guys know. Yes, I've been very busy. My new job I started, the first year I work it, it's a serious job. It's actually a government job, so, you know, they're pretty strict on the rules. The first year I work there, I have to work the schedule that they gave me, and unfortunately, it is a night schedule. So, my days off are Monday and Tuesday. I don't get to pick them. So, that means no more Thursday night showings for movies, obviously, because I'll be at work. But I get off work at 11 p.m. and they did have a midnight showing for Doctor Strange tonight, so that's what I went to. And, you know, right now, it's, 3 a.m. So I was going to see it tomorrow morning, but I said, you know what, I want to see it now. Because I'm up late anyways now, so, you know, I didn't have to worry about waking up early to go see it. So, yeah, there were still people in the, the theater, obviously, so... yeah, so that's the story behind that, guys. So movie reviews going forward either are going to be extremely late on Thursday night or maybe early on Friday morning or something like that. You know what I mean? I bought tickets for Top Gun, and they're having like a Tuesday early showing thing, so I get to see it because I'm off on Tuesdays, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, and videos going forward overall, like I said, I'm off Mondays and Tuesdays, and those will probably be the days where I'm filming stuff. If I'm trying to like adjust myself into this new working schedule. Like I pretty much had to like change my sleeping schedule when I go to the gym and stuff like that. So once I'm fully like in it, I will start doing videos again on a regular basis. It's just I'm trying to adjust. I'm sure like only like one or two of you care anyways, but. Anyone who was concerned, like, hey, what happened to the videos, like I want to go and do more tier lists and other stuff again, and live stream. I haven't live streamed in such a long time, but yeah, I'm sorry guys, like I've just been very busy, but the job's good though. Like I've been making really good money, and I feel like I'm a good fit for it. Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna talk spoilers now. Sorry for any people who just clicked on this video for a review. I I get it. So spoilers, leave the video. My big question, so is Wanda dead? Because I think she's dead. And man, like her final like scene with the scene with her and the other Wanda, it was very emotional. Like it was very good. But her death, like if that's her death, I feel like excuse me, I feel like they should have made it more clear, like that was her death. Like it didn't feel like her death is happening. Like it just felt like she was just putting an end to what she's been doing in this film. But like it didn't feel like she's dead. So I hope she's not dead because I'd like to see more from her. And plus, Vision's out there still. So I thought he'd show up in this movie as a surprise or something, but no. Yeah, this whole movie could have been avoided if Vision didn't fly off at the end of WandaVision. The white Vision. Maybe him and Wanda could have worked something out. I don't know why he flew off, I mean, I get it. I get why he flew off, the director or the people behind the story. Like, okay, let's have Vision separate so Wanda can do this craziness, Yeah, whatever. So I need to know if she's dead because, like, that would suck. And then also at the end, like the post-credit or the mid-credit scene was with Charlize Theron, and that was very surprising. I didn't expect her. Her character, I looked on Wikipedia, is supposed to be like the new love interest for Doctor Strange, apparently. Like she ends up marrying him or something like that. So that actually fits the story because the whole theme of the movie is, are you happy? And he's pretty much accepted now that him and Christine aren't ever going to be a thing. Like literally, like in any universe. So now she steps in, this new character, and then I guess, that they're going to be a thing in the future. But like I said, the character arc with Wanda, what I was trying to mention earlier, that was spoilerish with her. She might be my favorite MCU villain. Like, my favorite MCU villains are Thanos and Killmonger, and I guess you could say Loki. Yeah, Loki's up there. Um, but man, she might be. Man, she was really good in this. I don't know. Like that's a tough. That's a tough group right there to beat. She's definitely in their company. I don't know if she's my favorite, but man, excellent performance. And again, like I said, kind of spoilers because you don't necessarily know that she's the villain of the film. Like you can tell by the trailers and stuff like that that she's definitely got like an antagonistic presence in the film, but I didn't know she'd be the main villain of the movie. Like I thought there was something else going on, going into it, but no, she is straight up just the main villain of the movie. Um, Now, a few nitpicks, like I mentioned. This might sound stupid. My biggest problem with the movie is a nitpick, and it's the third eye. Like it didn't look good. Like it looked really bad. Like the CGI, it just didn't look like it was actually on his head. Is what I'm trying to say. Like they need to work on that. Isn't that weird? That's my biggest problem with the movie. Um, and what I was mentioning earlier about people reviewing the movie, I had this impression that by what they were, the vibes they were giving, is that the movie wasn't filled with a million cameos like a million people thought would happen. And yeah, it's true. In particular, the Flick Pick, who is a channel, I've watched him for years. He's great. His review pretty much just flat out told you there's no Tom Cruise, there's no Deadpool. Like he pretty much he kind of spoiled it, but not really. I watched his review and he's like, there was a big cameo people were thinking would happen and it didn't happen. Actually, there was two of them, and I knew he was talking about Tom Cruise and Deadpool. Like I just knew it. So that was kind of annoying. I didn't like that he did that. Because again, you can't be specific when you're talking about a movie that's like spoiler sensitive like that. Um, so going into the movie, I pretty much knew like, okay, they're probably not in it because what he said. Um, and again, a lot of people probably went into this with like such high expectations, like, oh my god, there's going to be a billion cameos. And honestly, the only real surprise was John Krasinski, because in the trailer they literally showed Patrick Stewart. They literally showed Lashana Lynch as Captain Marvel, sort of, when she was glowing and stuff. They showed Captain Carter in one of the TV spots or whatever. There was also Black Bolt, but I don't really know that character. Like, Inhumans, I never watched it, so whatever. I don't know. He was cool, I guess. I'm not familiar with that character, so. But other than that, like, John Krasinski, that was honestly the only surprise in this movie. And again, going in, I did expect, okay, there's probably going to be a ton of cameos, and I didn't want to like overhype myself, especially because of what FlickPick said. Um, but that was really cool though that they got John Krasinski in there. I don't know if they're gonna like have him be Mr. Fantastic for like the actual MCU going forward, or maybe he's just a variant. Probably just a variant, just to be like, okay, we got John Krasinski to be it, because they could do it. They could have Emily Blunt be Invisible Woman. They could, that'd be really funny. But I like stuff like that. And of course, I would have loved to see Tom Cruise as Iron Man in this. Maybe I feel like they reached out to him. Like they definitely did, because the Illuminati is supposed to have, Iron Man, that version of Iron Man. So, I'm sure they did. I don't know. Never say never. He could still show up one day. But that was crazy. Wanda killing all of them. Oh my god. And brings up another question. It's like, this Mordo in this movie is an alternate version of Mordo. So what is our Mordo up to? We never caught up with him. You know what I mean? Yeah, pretty funny. Um, but yeah, like I said, for people going in expecting like Endgame, they're disappointed. Me, I was sort of expecting something like that, but I knew ahead of time. All right, I'm probably gonna like it mostly for the horror stuff, and again, like I mentioned, that's what I like the most. So, yeah. So this video is probably really long right now, so I'm gonna end it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and again, if you're gonna mention any spoilers, make sure you put a spoiler tag or something like that so people don't accidentally look at it. And I know there was a bunch of leaks. I never looked at the leaks, so I don't know what leaked. But yeah, interesting. I guess I'll look into that after this. But Yeah, if you were spoiled, I apologize. Thankfully, I wasn't spoiled by anything, so that was cool. Um, but aside from Flick Pick, pretty much flat out saying there's no Tom Cruise or Deadpool in the movie. Yeah, so. But again, as a narrative, I felt like it was a great character arc for Doctor Strange, and also Wanda. Obviously, she stole the show. And the movie hit it on every nail. Like it hit. Oh, and I gotta mention too. Another hope I had. Again, I didn't want to overhype myself. I pretty much knew maybe they won't do it. They could have had Bruce Campbell play Ash, because obviously Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, they make every movie together. So like, they could have did it because Ash is in the Marvel comics. His cameo was still pretty funny though. Like I love the fact that he's the post-credit scene. Like that was great. That was so perfect. I think I was the only one in the theater laughing at it because most people were like, "Really?" I thought it was great. And he looks right at the camera and he says, "It's over." That's so great. I love that they let Sam Raimi make a Sam Raimi movie. Like it really was. Like, don't get me wrong, the Spider-Man trilogy has Sam Raimi written all over it as well, but not to this level. Like, this is truly, like, Sam Raimi. And yeah, also a lot of the reviews are saying the movie, like, is just nonstop. There's no slow moments. There are slow moments. Like, the moments, between Chavez and Strange talking to each other, like, there are slower moments. Could it have been longer? Sure. But, like, I thought the movie felt longer than it was, to be honest. Like I know it's only 2 hours and a few minutes, but it felt like maybe like 2 hours 15 to me. Like it felt longer than what it was to me. I don't know. I think I'm weird, but anyways, I gotta stop this video. It's way too long. It's gonna take forever to upload. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.